What's good, people? What's good? Happy Sabbath day. I usually don't post on Sabbath day. Yada yada yada. Praising the Lord. Usually take breaks on these days. But I said this in another video. I hardly feel like this is work. I think of my work more as like the reading I do and like some of the other shit research I do. This is almost like basically fun, to be honest. This is like talking to friends here, so it is what it is. If God strikes me down, then I'll know that I should stop doing this. But actually, funny enough, my channel kind of did well in the past week. And I remember, I think it was last week that I said, if I said like, if some bad shit starts happening, then I'll stop posting on Saturdays. But like, good shit actually happened, so fuck it. Here we are now. I was so excited to post this video today that I still have my mouth guard in on accident. Like, just like I did, like, I think it was yesterday or the day, I think it was the day before. Just like I did for that video. So, today I'm just gonna say, see, Graham Stephan called it even. Graham Stephan, he had a video saying why 40% of millennials will quit their jobs. I didn't actually watch the video, I just saw the thumbnail because I was on like a Graham Stephan run of videos, like I think it was last year, and then since then his videos always pop up in my whatever you want to call it, suggested videos, like in my home screen and shit like that, which is part of the reason I started the YouTube channel. Let's see if I pop up in your home screen. But yeah. So, and that dude was right. And obviously, like, if you're watching this, you've probably seen a bunch of the doomsday videos of like, oh, everyone's gonna quit their job, economy's gonna collapse, all this stuff. So you're probably already familiar with this stuff. And then also in your real life, you've probably seen people end up quitting their jobs. Like, if you're a millennial or a Gen Zer, or even older than that, to be honest. And that's actually why this video was inspired, because my friend, like my real life friend, he's currently trying to get me a job where he works at, which is like an old folks home. He is a cook there, and then he wants me to be a dishwasher there, and it'd be a pretty, I mean, it's like kind of manual labor because it's one of those like industrial dishwashers, so it's like not, and then you're gonna be on your feet and all that stuff. So it's like quote unquote hard work to me. Like that shit would be just kind of be easy work, and it'd be part time, and I would get paid a little bit. So it is what like to me that would be kind of easy work. But a lot of people say, oh, that's hard work and stuff, and it's for an old folks home shit. Like I just talk with the old people. But the funny thing is, or I mean, if you're his employer, this isn't funny. But to me, it's kind of. I mean, it's just very symptomatic of like the entire economy here. But basically, someone quit there. So someone quit just recently, and we were literally just yesterday talking about how the economy. Me and that friend were talking about how the economy, and some other friends actually too. We're talking about how the economy was bad, and like employers were gonna have to be really looking hard to find people to work, even though COVID lockdowns are over. Even in California here, COVID lockdowns are basically over. You know, you have like things are opening up, but the thing is, things are opening up, and still people aren't going outside. Still, people aren't going for those job vacancies. Like those job vacancies are still there. Like if you walk outside, you'll see like, oh, we're hiring all over the place, and it's even worse than it was like even before COVID. Before COVID, people were saying, oh, apply online, do all this. You know, I applied like 100 or 200 jobs prior, like during the lockdowns, and they were still telling me, oh, apply online, do this, do that. Maybe because they were getting some funding or some shit, like to stay afloat. But now, when lockdowns end and a lot of this funding, I'm pretty sure, I don't know all the details. If you want to know the details about the funding and shit, watch like I Allegedly and Jeremiah Babe if you follow if those channels have been popping up in your feed, because they talk about like small business funding and all that shit, and even like big business funding. They talk about a lot of that. But so I'm not sure if they're not getting funding anymore or what's going on there. But the fact of the matter is, what I see as one person is now all that bullshit of like, oh, apply online, do this, do that, all these hoops you have to go through, now they're desperate for people. And people are quitting. So it's just very funny to me when you're a follower of the general economy and you've kind of been saying this. Like, I've been saying this to my friends for the past year and no one really believed me. Everyone like thought I was BSing. They said I didn't really know what I was talking about. They didn't say that to me directly, but my parents and some of the older people I was telling this to said that to me directly. But a lot of my friends, they basically said, oh, we don't really know much about that because like, we're not economists, etc. But as time goes on, because to me, I just said, hey, we're printing a ton of money and we don't make goods. So most of these jobs are service jobs and we're printing more money. So the price of everything goes up and all of those like working class people working these service jobs, they're gonna realize, hey, this is not getting me to where I need to go. And especially a lot of millennials and Gen Zers who are living with their parents, they're just gonna say, what's the point of doing this? And just go back to just live with their parents. And maybe go back to school. That's why a good portion of these people are going to go back to school. That's why I say community college is going to be very important coming soon. And which is why I'm going to be going back there probably in fall. But some of these people are going to be going back to school. But some of these people are just going to basically give up completely and just say, like, this is BS. Like, you can only kick the can down the road or whatever you want to call it for so long. Like, more and more people are going to keep saying this is BS, as I've said in previous videos. So you're going to see people start quitting their job. And, okay, so now we're finally getting back to the impetus of this video. So at my friend's work that he's trying to get me in, like, that old folks home, someone quit their job. So now his employer is looking for people to hire. So he messaged me actually this. I saw it when I got up, which is why I still have my mouth guard in, and I was excited to make this video. He texted me. He's like, this is actually the perfect time to apply. Like, someone just quit. And I'm like, how predictive is that? I mean, the economics, you can predict a lot of stuff when you kind of understand some of this shit. And we're just going to be seeing more of this, in my opinion. Even after all of these government programs end to give businesses funding and give people stimulus checks, a lot of people think that once everyone stops getting their stimmies, people are going to go back to work and employers are going to have a bunch of people to choose from to hire. And the thing is, that's just not how it's going to work. More and more people are going to actually end up quitting, ironically, and less people are going to be looking for work. That's just how this shit works. And those businesses are going to have to close down. A lot of those fast food places, those pizza places, even these old folks' homes, they're going to have to shut down. Think about that. Like, think about old folks' homes shutting down. Just imagine like the amount, and more people are going to be homeless. Just facts. That to me is the most unfortunate part of this. You're going to have more vacant properties and vacant apartments and more homeless people living in tents. You know how many there's tent cities cropping up in actual cities, and then in suburbs, even in the countryside where I live. I don't even really live in the suburbs, to be honest. I live in the countryside, and they're building new developments here in the countryside, but simultaneously there's more homeless people walking around. Like, the other day I saw a Russian dude that he lives in the park, and they're building new developments. Like, by mine, I live in a development, they're building new developments. Like, that's crazy to me, man. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, to me, that's crazy. And that's just the fact of the matter. Like, that's just the economics of what we're dealing with. Everyone, all these people predicting it makes me laugh every time I watch Peter Schiff videos and it turns out that what he said is correct. And the fact that he is going against the grain is crazy to me. I don't understand how all these, and even me, when I say stuff, I lose friends off of this shit. Like, to be honest, I post some of this stuff on Facebook, which I still go on, because I have a lot of the people that I know on Facebook. So I still go on the Messenger app, and then I post occasionally just because I'm already on the app. Zuckerberg is honestly arguably a genius for that. I don't even know if he saw this coming or what it was, but it is what it is. But I post some of this stuff, and then people like legit unfriend me because like I'm posting the fact that there's gonna be more homeless people and we're printing money and all this stuff. And I'm not even an economist. Granted, I do listen to economists like Peter Schiff, but I'm not even personally an economist. But this shit is almost so common sense once you just learn about printing money. It just destroys incentives, man. That's just how it is. People are gonna keep quitting their work. And see, I might even get this job, to be honest, this part-time job. I might even get it just to get some extra spending money and to buy some herbs, basically, and like a new piece, pretty much, because like 2 of my vapes broke. So I might just get that job for that. But I mean, the thing is, the employers, they're going to have to pay their employees more, but they're also going to have less money to do it with. Like that's why they're going to have to close down, because people don't want to work unless they get higher wages. But you can't get higher wages unless more people are using your product or service. Like, does that make sense? So if you have less workers, you have less produce and services that you can offer because there's less people working. But in order to pay people more, in order to get them to work for you, you have to have more people using your product or your service. Like, does that circle of inefficiency essentially make sense? Does that, like, that's a losing battle that employers are fighting right now. It's a losing battle. Like, you can't have more people use your stuff if less people are helping you make that stuff. And it might be hard to grasp at first, but then once you get the cycle of that, it's just common sense, man. So it is what it is. I mean, I might just get the job. It won't pay that much, but like, I'm living with my parents. I don't have a family to support or anything like that. I'm mostly working on this YouTube because honestly, I think you should focus on long-term stuff. Like, this isn't the time to like, and this is why people are quitting, because they know it too. This isn't really the time to get that short-term job, man. A lot of these places are just going to end up collapsing, and it is what it is. Like, you can't kick the can down the road for that long, man. Like, so in my opinion, this is the time to like focus on what your long-term plan is going to be. Because that's what's going to end up being the economy of the future. Like, what we do in these days, our long-term plans will be the economy of the future. So I would encourage you guys, that's why I'm working so hard on this channel. And plus it's fun too. Like, at this point, I would find some work that's fun for you to do and that you can do long-term. That's like the best advice I could give you, if I give any advice ever. And obviously you can follow me and see what I'm doing, but that's my best advice. Something that's fun to do and that you can do long term. This is like the perfect time to find that, and you're gonna see success with it, because especially if you're like producing something, because the fact that it's hard to like put all this into perspective, especially since I didn't script it. But like the fact that basically like hardly anybody is producing stuff. Like, we're in a service economy. If like you produce anything coming up, I think like you're gonna be in good shape. So like, even if it's just YouTube videos, I would encourage you guys to like find something you like doing and like just do that. Like, and it's gonna work. Like, this channel is working, and it's not even like it's gonna get it's not even working. To me, I've already succeeded compared to like just seeing zeros for all that time. I was telling my buddy this, and I think that buddy actually shot on my video yesterday, which I'll adjust that maybe tomorrow or like sometime in the coming week. But like I was literally telling them, if you've seen zeros for all this time and then like you start seeing numbers go up, you already won basically at that point. Like now we're just having fun with it essentially. Like my buddy texted me this bullshit. I'm telling you guys this, like we're just having fun with this essentially because we've already learned all the economics, like how this shit works, printing money. We've already like done the hard work. Like at this point, like we got like to me like we got to start reaping the rewards off of this shit. And there's gonna still be time before that, like the rewards come. But like to me, I'm already like winning on that shit. So like you guys do, like don't do the same. Like you don't have to do the exact same thing as I am, but like do the same in terms of like get that shit that you like doing. Start doing it and like just reap the rewards on that shit over time. But yeah, 40%, the Graham Stephan was right, man. 40% of millennials will quit their jobs. And it just is what it is. Like, if you want to pick up one of those jobs short term, go for it. Work on your long term shit at the same time, man. And, like, sky's the limit. Go back to school. Those community colleges, like I say, those are going to be huge. So go back to school if you want to go back to school. Those are going to be cheap, too. And there's going to be a lot of people there, like a shit ton of people. You don't know how many people are actually in community college of like all ages too. You wouldn't really know it just walking around, and a lot of them are doing it online, but community college is like the place to be in a lot of sense. Like, because the education level, due to inflation and various other things, the education level is similar to universities, and many professors, because they want to get more money because the professors are trying to keep up with inflation too, right? Just because they focus in on one area of like expertise doesn't mean like they're not trying to keep up with inflation like everybody else. So a lot of them that teach in universities, they go and teach the same courses in community colleges. And I saw this literally firsthand. Like, I had my computer science teacher, he was a business owner, basically making some extra cash teaching introductory comp sci. So I learned from that dude. That dude knew Bill Gates. Like, come on, man. The dude knew Bill Gates, and he was in Silicon Valley during the time when Silicon Valley was kind of like huge and booming, like in the 90s and 2000s. Now you could arguably say Silicon Valley's falling, but I think it might rise again. But like we'll see about that. But dude, that guy, to get a teacher like that, like you're gonna be seeing that just because of inflation. Like that's just what it is. The dude's a business owner making extra cash. The guy knew Bill Gates and stuff. Dude, he was like telling us stories about like Bill Gates and a lot of the philosophies he had, like about business and working. I mean, come on, man. It just is what it is. Like in this inflationary environment, choose your spots, man, and like you'll be set. Like, dude, and I'll be on my community college campus is beautiful, man. I'll like take you guys into that. I'll be recording when I hit that in like August. What is it? July? Like starts probably apply soon, right? It's in August. But with community college, man, you got so much time to do shit. It's like it is what it is. But alright, that's that video for today, man. Just pick your spots, shit, man. And don't believe all these people who like don't look into shit and they tell you something. Just keep just keep learning this knowledge that you're learning. Stay on your path, and like you're gonna be good. Like you're gonna be more than good, in my opinion. Yeah, and I'll just keep encouraging you guys. Just keep watching my channel, do whatever, and I'll address the hatred seen in the last video. And there's certain things that I may have gotten wrong too. Like so, yeah. But that's for later this week. Yeah, man. Just chill out today, man. It's Saturday. Fuck it. Read the Bible if you want to. Peace out, guys.